Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to tackle a question that could seriously change how you think about workplace accidents. We're going to dive into a strategy called behavioral-based safety. You'll often hear it called BBS. So here's what we've got lined up. We're going to cover the what, the why, and the how of BBS. We'll get into its core principles and even some of the secrets to making a program that actually sticks around for the long haul.
Okay, so first things first. Let's start by challenging a belief that's been around for a long time about what really keeps people safe on the job.
You know how it is. We spend so much time focusing on the physical stuff. Hard hats, machine guards, all those warning signs. But what if the biggest key to stopping accidents isn't about the conditions we work in at all?
And this right here, this is the core idea of BBS. It's all about shifting our focus. We stop looking just at the place and start looking at the people and how they actually behave in that space. It's a huge change in perspective, really.
Now, this is super important. This doesn't mean we just ignore unsafe conditions. Not at all. Think of it like this. We're adding a new, powerful layer on top of all the safety controls we already have. It's a layer that focuses on us, the people, to make the whole system way more reliable.
Okay, so with that idea in mind, let's get into our next section and really nail down what BBS is and how it actually works.
The whole game with BBS is being proactive. It's all about getting ahead of the problem. You're identifying and encouraging safe actions to stop accidents before they even have a chance to happen.
Okay, now this is what I find really cool. Look at these core principles. The big ones: a no-blame approach and a focus on positive reinforcement. This is not about playing gotcha and catching people doing something wrong. It's about finding ways to encourage people to do things right. And the best part? It's all based on data you can see, not just some feeling you have about someone's bad attitude.
And hey, for anyone out there who deals with formal management systems, you'll appreciate this. BBS isn't some totally separate rogue program. It actually plugs right into key parts of the big international safety standard, ISO 45001. We're talking leadership, worker participation, continual improvement. It fits right in.
So all of this sounds great, right? But the big question is, how do you actually do it? How do you get a program like this off the ground? Well, let's take a look at the blueprint.
And here it is, the whole process in 5 clear steps. First, you've got to identify the critical behaviors. Then you set up the observation process. After that, it's all about feedback and reinforcement. Then you collect and analyze the data, which finally leads to improvement actions. It's a continuous cycle. So that first step, identifying critical behaviors, is key. I mean, you can't watch everything all the time, right? So you have to focus. You look at things that have caused problems before, things that are high risk, like wearing the right PPE or using proper lifting posture. That all gets turned into a checklist, and that checklist becomes your guide. Okay, so we've got the plan, we've got the steps, but a plan is just a plan, right? What actually makes it work? Well, let's look at the 2 things that are absolutely critical to fueling this system: data and leadership. This right here is a total game changer. Instead of just tracking accidents after they happen, BBS lets you track stuff before anything goes wrong. You're using data from observations to create what we call a leading indicator, something like your percentage of safe behavior. Now you've got a proactive goal to shoot for. And to get that data, you need people to actually participate, right? So setting a simple, clear goal, say a minimum of 2 observations per person each month. That keeps the system active and makes sure everyone feels involved. But let's be real clear about this one. Without leadership that is visible and actively involved, a BBS program will absolutely fail. It's non-negotiable. They can't just sign a piece of paper. They have to get out there, do observations themselves, review the results, and hammer home the no punishment rule. They've got to walk the walk. All right, final section. Let's do a little reality check. We've talked about how it all should work, but what's the difference between a program that succeeds and one that just kind of fizzles out? A successful program is all about focusing on these proactive leading indicators. You're looking at things like observation trends and participation rates, not just staring at reactive, lagging ones like accident rates after the fact. The whole conversation shifts from what went wrong to how can we get better?
And here they are, the big pitfalls to avoid. If people start seeing this as a way to get in trouble, or just another pile of paperwork that no one looks at, you've lost. The trust is gone, and the whole program is pretty much useless.
You know, this really shows the whole journey of a BBS program. You start with just having a form. Then you start actually doing the observations. Then you analyze the data. Then you start making improvements. And finally, you get to the ultimate goal, a true safety culture where everyone is looking out for each other.
So it really all boils down to this one final thought. Is your safety program a tool for surveillance, or is it a platform for trust? The success of this whole thing really depends on that answer.